Okay, here we are again. And this video tutorial is for those who did not make it to class this past Thursday, week 7. So what I want to do is I want to cover some of the basic commands we covered in class regarding introduction to AutoCAD. Okay, so now we did do a couple of the plates in the book which have to do with threads and springs, and I will go ahead and create a demo on those as well. But for the time being, I kind of wanted to do this intro to CAD first. That way, when you get a chance to, when you're back on campus, I want you to work through this exercise. Okay, so first thing I wanted you to do is I wanted you to open up AutoCAD. Now, since I'm doing this tutorial here at home, I won't be able to navigate to the exact location where AutoCAD is located on the server. So basically, what you need to do is you need to open up, let's see, I guess you can go to the Start menu, and you can't really see it on my screen, but then you want to go to All Programs, and then you want to go to the DD Programs, okay? Sorry, here, you want to go to the DD Programs, and about the third one down, you'll see, okay, I'm just going to abbreviate ACAD 12, okay? And that's the one you want to launch. So it's going to take a little bit. It's going to have to initialize. So once it is initialized, what I want you to do is go down here to these windows. Okay, I'm down over in this area. I want you to go ahead and shut off all the blue little icons, because they're highlighted similar to that in blue. I want you to shut all those off, except for maybe the grid, okay? Now, one of the mistakes the students were making this past Thursday is that they were taking this grid as gospel. No, we don't draw per the grid. We don't do that eyeballically. We can kind of do that hand sketch-wise and through some of the other programs, but AutoCAD is a very exact program. So we need to issue in commands for exact locations. So what the assignment is to take a block from page 194. Now, if you remember right, on page 194, we went ahead and created the three views of the one block drawn in isometric. And remember, we had to measure out per those little ticks that are on the illustration. Again, so what I want you to do is go to your text, go to page 194, and the block we will be working on is block number 6, okay? Drawing number 6. So, but before I do that, you know, I went ahead and gave a little tutorial before we did anything else in AutoCAD, so I'm going to run through the tutorial with you as well. So first of all, I want you to type L for the line command, okay? And if you type the line command, I just want you to place a bunch of lines in everywhere, okay? Now, in order to notice that it's one line after another, in order to terminate the command, you hit the enter, okay? It terminates it. And if you hit enter again, it re-invokes the command. So that's kind of one of the nice things about AutoCAD, is that you can terminate it by hitting enter and then reinitialize the same command. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and just place a bunch of lines in like this, okay? Go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and put the lines in. Okay, now once you finish putting the lines in, to get rid of them, it's kind of easy. So all you need to do is type E for erase, and you can either select each individual line, or you can start from the right over here in an empty spot in the field, click, and then drag to the left, and whatever that little green window touches gets selected. Once your objects are selected, then all you need to do is hit return and they're gone, okay? So again, if you just invoke the L for line, and the reason why I'm having you type line rather than going to the menu bar is that you work much more efficiently and quickly if you can learn the quick keys, okay? Hit return to exit. E for erase. Start out here, whoops, E for erase, start here, or swoop to the left, select those, and then click, and then they're gone. Okay. Now I want to bring your attention that there's a command line right here in this white area. So I want you to pay special attention and read your prompts as you're running through your commands. Okay. Now let's go through another couple of commands. Let's go ahead and type L for line, and I will start over here somewhere. Okay. Now, if I hit the F8 up at the top of your keyboard, notice how the line now snaps to an orthogonal, and it only goes straight up or straight sideways. That's kind of handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make an orthogonal line here. Okay. I'm going to hit return and then hit return a second time, and then I will, still having the F8 orthogonal on, I move and create another line. Okay, so there I have two parallel lines. Now I'll do the same vertically. One here, enter to end the command, enter again to reinitialize the line command, and then I'm out. Okay, notice I have this little rectangular area defined, kind of, and then I have these little pigtails sticking out here. So what I want you to do now is type in the TR command for trim. Okay, what you want to do, and this method of selection, combination, and clicking works in a lot of the AutoCAD commands, especially the modifies. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and select those edges. Let's say I want to cut these two out here. Select the two edges that are going to be the cutting lines. Then, since I'm finished selecting my cutting lines, I hit return. Now I select those things that I want to trim. Okay, let's invoke the command again by hitting return. Select the cutting lines. I'm finished selecting the cutting lines. Hit return, and then trim those. Okay, go ahead and trim the other ones, and you can start the video once you finish that. Okay, now that you went ahead and trimmed those out, let's issue another command. Let's go ahead and type the command C, and C stands for circle. And notice that you have a bunch of options here, but let's go ahead and let's just put a circle in here. Now, I want to bring to your attention that radius is the default, okay? And let's see, where does that tell you? It doesn't tell you right there, but let me just guarantee you that radius is your default. So you just want to go ahead and place your circle here, click and then drag out, okay, until you see your circle, and then click again, and there you have it. Or you can just invoke the C command again, C, and then click somewhere, and then you can enter the number in directly. So here, let's say I want 3. It may not work. I thought that's what was going to happen. My drawing is kind of large, and 3 is just really small. So let me try something like 30. Okay, so C, go ahead, click here, and then I'm going to type 30. Return. Better, but not perfect. Okay, so if I went, say C, click, how about 300? Okay, that's better. Alrighty. So what you're going to do is you're going to create your drawing to a relative scale, but so depending on the units that you start off with are the units that you're going to have to deal with when you create your radiuses. So when you first initialize your drawing, and if you initialize it correctly, you should be okay for the rest of the drawing. So these are kind of like I said, large circles. Okay, so now we've covered, just in a quick review, we've covered the line, we've covered the erase command, we've covered the trim, and we've covered the circle. Now, let me erase these lines right here. Oops, too fast. Here we go. I'm going to erase those. I'm going to show you another command, and this one's probably going to be the most important command for this exercise. And that command is the offset. Okay? Let me look at the units that I have here in the drawing. Units. And I'm in decimal, and I'm in feet. And the reason I'm in feet is because I don't have regular AutoCAD up. I have Civil 3D up. But if you had opened AutoCAD up, AutoCAD 12, your units would have been inches. Okay, so I've changed mine to inches, but I think I'm still way too big, so I'm going to have to zoom in here. I'm going to go ahead and break this here, so that I can have something a little more manageable. Let me just kind of offset a distance. So I'm just going to take a measurement here. Now, all this that I'm doing, you don't have to do. It's just for me to register my drawing. It's 192. That's still way too big. So I'm going to have to zoom in way tight here. Okay. Yeah, it's just the way AutoCAD, Civil 3D, when it initiates a drawing, the drawing is just way too big. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and attempt this. What I wanted to show you was the offset command. So if you type O for offset, and if we look at figure 6, the little drawing we're supposed to draw, its width is 1, 2, let's see, I think we were 1, 2, 3, 3.5 units over. So if I type offset O, it's asking me how many units over. So I say 3.5, and I click the thing that I want to offset, and then I have to tell it which direction. So I say go that way. Okay. I'm going to zoom in here. The way to zoom in is you can use your middle mouse scroll button and then just kind of zoom in or out. Or you can type the command Z, W, and then you can zoom the window. Okay. But the easiest way is just using your little scroll button on the mouse. All right. So now I have this 3.5 units, and that's what figure 6 tells me that my figure should be. Okay. So now I need to create a vertical line here for the one side of the wall. So still having my F8 invoked, my orthogonal, I go ahead and drop a line here. Okay, now notice that you're going to have to trim these lines up to make them nice and square, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. Okay, so I'm going to use the projection of this line up so I can get my top view. So what I want now is I want to now move over the overall length, and if I move over I offset the overall length, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it looks like it's 7.5. So invoking the offset command again, now I want 7.5, select the thing I want to offset, go over here, and now I have basically my little rectangular area. So now I just need to start to put the detail in. Now I'm working on the block figure 6, and I'm working on the front view. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to add this wall thickness right here. Okay, and according to my picture, it looks like it's 1 unit off. So I hit O, hit return. It still says 7.5, but I just want it 1 unit here. And I have to count how many, I have to count, take a measurement to where my next exterior wall is right here. And it looks like it's about in the middle of the piece. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Okay, 4 over from this edge. So select the offset command, type in 4, go over 4. Now I have to also place in the wall thickness in here. And that was 1. Okay, and I do that. So you can see how I'm building up this piece here. Now, I do want to trim, maybe, you know what, I don't want to trim these yet, but I do want to trim those on the bottom. So I type TR for trim, and look what I can do. I don't have to necessarily select each cutting line individually. I can just pick somewhere out here in the open space, swoop all these, and then go back in, hit return, and then go back and select what I want trimmed. Oh, missed that one. There we go. Okay, looks a little better. Now, I want to give my piece here the base elevation, and my base elevation, again, is 1 unit up. So I type O for offset 1, and there we go. Now, my piece starts here, and then it has an L shape. So I need to get rid of these 2 lines right here. Type trim, select that, done with my selection, hit return, click, click, and here you go. Now you can see how the piece is forming. Now if you notice, there's no back plate back here that I would see if I was looking at an orthogonal. This area should be open, but I still have these lines. Now, there's a trick here. I still want these lines, so because I want to use them for the top projection, but I don't want to erase them. But what I can do is I can break them. So let's type the command BR for break. And all I need to do is choose one point on the line and then another, and then I break it right there. So I'm going to do the same on this side. There and there, hit the break, and then click and click. There we go. So now I can trim up. Well, you know what? Let me do that here as well. There and there, click break, there and there. Okay, so now I can trim up these lines, clean these up, and I will, so I can have these lines as my projection lines. Okay, so let me trim those up. There, 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 and there. And then here. I still need to break these. So let me go ahead and break them. You can pause the video. Or I'll come back after I